Book is actually like a self-help book and a workbook too. It tells you how you should work and be in your life, how you should have a positive outlook, how you should live one day at a time. And besides that, it also tells you how you should practice that and make it a lifestyle. So we're going to chit chat with the author all about this book and all about how you should rise and shine when the universe gives you a kick. And I have to tell you guys that it is amazing when all of you all tune in for our chitter chatter. It just motivates to be with all of you all the time. And thank you everyone for joining in. Hi Mandakini.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Looking lovely.
Likewise. And I'm getting to chit chat with you and talk about this book. Before we start, I have to tell you that every page had so much to learn from, and there's so much to follow. So I have to thank you to write this book for the audience out because there are so many things, we always talk about a positive.
Yes.
We support a workbook to do something. So,
Yes.
to my school days, we had a digest which said everything, and you had a workbook to follow.
yes. That was the aim behind writing this book. A book which is very light to read yet full of wisdom which can enlighten the millennials.
And it is completely a millennium positive book. So do you have your copy around before we chit chat?
Yes, I do have a copy. Yes, here it is.
A selfie moment. There we go. And before we get started, know a lot about how you went about writing this book. Do you want to say something to our viewers? Because the moment I put the story, we had a lot of questions come. So what do you want to tell them about your book?
Yes, a big hello to all the viewers who are viewing this right now. So about my book, When the Universe Gives You a Kick, How to Rise and Shine, it is like a self-help and a transformational book, which will help you transform into a better human being, a good human being. In this book, what I've done is I have adopted a Trinity approach in which we have like stop, start, and learn. So when we are, as a person, I think what we do is that we look out for faults in others. We never introspect or look for things that what is it that we are lacking. So this book is like a journey wherein you will discover all your vices, the vices that you have within you, and how to banish those vices and cultivate virtues in you so that you become a more balanced person, not only emotionally, but also spiritually, and which will really help you in life to become more resilient, to have that inner grit in life. Because it is very important to have inner grit and resilience in life, because life as it is not easy for us. It is like full of like, we have setbacks, we suffer, we go through heartbreaks and all sort of things. So then universe gives you a kick. So it is like universe gives you a kick so that you will learn to rise and shine. And this book teaches you how to go about it and how to rise and shine.
So who gave you that kick to write this book?
Sorry?
Who gave you the kick to write this book?
Our situations, life. That is it. I think it was my inner calling that I wanted to help people out there. I wanted to do something for the society, for the millennials, because I became aware of the golden power of words. Words of enlightened gurus, of teachers. They have transformed my life for better. But I wanted a book that can help the millennials. What happens is a lot of times we don't want that change in our life. We want to change our life, but we lack a certain perspective. We don't have that mentor in our life. We don't have access to all the enlightened gurus or spiritual masters or life coaches. So this exactly was the purpose behind it, that what I went through and how I overcame it. So people should also have such a book, a mentor, which can guide them in the right direction, and they learn to rise and shine and soar high in life.
Like at the beginning of our chat, that it also has a workbook.
Yeah.
How they should go. Not just mentioned theory, but you also provide them with some questions and a lot of practices that they can follow consciously time to time. Exactly. So was that a conscious effort that you gave them, literally like a workbook to follow?
Yes, it was a conscious effort. Like if I'm telling them, like if you have some flaw, if I pointed that to you, you'll feel little like, why is a person pointing this out to me? But when you read this book, you will know it that, yeah, even I have this flaw. Even I am like full of ego, or I have this tinge of envy in me. I have these flaws in me. Now you recognize all those vices. Now what to do about it? How to, improve how to let go of ego, how to let go of victim mentality, how to let go of all these issues, self-worth issues. So it was a very conscious effort on my part to include like a series of questions or a workbook pattern that identify your vices. Now work on it, identify your own strengths, identify your own skills, identify your talent, and what is it that you want to do. So it was a very conscious effort on my part. And it's not that in every chapter I have included like a series of questions. In some chapters, I have included a prayer, which you can say to heal your soul. In some chapters, I have included questionnaires. In some chapters, I have included pearls of wisdom from Gita, from Bible or Buddhist texts, so that they have access to all that knowledge which is hidden in our scriptures. Because people, like, why do we flock to enlightened souls? Because we may have everything, we may be very rich, we may have everything, but certain times we lack that perspective, we lack that inner peace and happiness, and we are searching for that. So we flock to those spiritually inclined persons. So this exactly is the purpose, because they have that knowledge, they have that wisdom. So this book gives that wisdom also, so that they have a perspective, they can tread on the right path. So yes, it was a conscious effort.
Like you mentioned, there are poems, there are recitals from Bhagavad Gita. There are poems that you can recite for our viewers right now?
Yeah, sure, I will do that. My own poem. Just give me 2 seconds. I have included a poem which is very close to my heart, and it's like in the chapter, start listening, conscious listening, because listening is also very important. People are out there speaking all the time. There are very few people who listen to you, and so important. So it's like, listen because you are a good soul. Listen intently to the words of the speaker. Listen, for they might guide you, for they might heal you, for they might blossom you, for they might enlighten you. Listen gently to the silence of the speaker. Listen, for it has so much to say, for it has so much to teach, for it has so much depth, for it has your heart and soul's reach. Listen humbly to the gestures of the speaker. Listen, for the words may be misleading, but the eyes speak a billion things. For the appearances might be deceiving, but the vibes unravel hidden meanings. So this is my favorite poem.
And while you were saying this poem, we had hearts flowing in, like literally like going in the hearts. And Dr. Leela, it's beautiful. Mohammed Azeen Nazra is saying, wow. And
Thank
then we
you.
Priya 005 waving out to you at that point. We had Lajosh, homemade, delicious. So while you were saying the poem, they were all listening to it, and they had lots and lots of hearts flowing your way.
Thank you.
Usually, Mandakini, everyone talks about the power of words, that words are important. And, this is the first time I came across a book where listening was important, like you mentioned in this chapter. That you've also mentioned that even if someone is listening, many times they're listening with the idea of what they're going to reply. They're actually not mindfully listening. And, the whole idea of being aware is so important. So what do you want to tell our viewers when it comes to listening, besides your poem, that why is listening as important as the words?
See, listening is very important for the other person. What people do is, if you notice that while we are in conversation with somebody's on their phone, somebody's busy on social media, we are there with each other, but we are not really there. So you need to listen. If you really want to understand the other person's perspective, what the other person is trying to convey, you need to listen it. Because what happens is, a lot of times you misinterpret because you didn't even listen properly. You're going by your own prejudices, your own biases, your own preconceived notions. So you have to have a fresh mindset and listen to what the other person has to say. And you might not know, but it can do magic to the person who's speaking. Maybe he wants somebody to listen. When you're going through rough times, when you're really sad, when you're depressed, when you are not in a very good mood, even if somebody listens to you, for 10 minutes also, it can have a healing effect on your soul. So listening is very important. So it has a very crucial part in being a good human being. And I always emphasize on this, that you should be a kind soul first. Everything else can do. But if you're not a good soul, if you're not a kind soul, that won't do. So listening is very important.
You have mentioned a lot of meditation techniques too in your book.
Yes.
So, what are the meditation techniques that are very, I'm sure all of them are very close to you. You've practiced them, and that's why you are sharing it with people.
Yes.
But what is meditation for you in a line, if I have to ask?
Meditation for me is when you're just at a very calm, you have a calm state of mind, when you are with yourself, you do away with all the distractions, and you are just with yourself. You want to know what is it that you want to do. And meditation doesn't have to be like a very half an hour or 1 hour process. Even if you give 10 minutes in a day to yourself to be at peace, you can listen to a piece of music, you can write something, you can paint. That is meditation. For me, it doesn't have to be like chanting mantras all the time, and that is not meditation for me. Like you paint so beautifully. Don't you think that is a meditation?
I agree with you in your chapter how you said, you can hear a song which resonates with you.
Yes.
Or painting, and that's exactly, there are sometimes Bollywood songs that I'm hearing. Those words are literally magical for me. And
Magical.
Hope.
Yes. You're looking for a sign, you are troubled and you're looking for a sign, but when you are at peace, a certain song plays on the radio and you just get the answer. That happens with me. I don't know.
That works with me completely. In fact, I sometimes when I really don't know what to do, once I'm at peace, I actually play the radio and I'm like, okay, next song is actually going to tell me what to do.
Yes.
When lyrics come, I don't care whether it is a romantic song or I just hear the lyrics and I get my answer.
Yeah, you resonate with the lyrics and you're like, yeah, okay, this means something. Universe is trying to tell me something.
Yeah, and you said universe works in its magical ways. Like we really don't know ways, and it's really magical.
True, agreed.
Coming to the power of words, you mentioned about affirmations, about switch words, and how important words are.
Yes.
You have to tell your viewers how important words are. What would you like to tell them?
See, words are very important. Words can uplift a spirit. Words can crush a spirit. So use your words very mindfully. You have to be very mindful of the words that you use for yourself and for others as well. I see a lot of people who use they indulge in negative self-talk. They're always like playing like a victim, that I can't do this. This has happened with me before, this will happen again. And they give up. They don't even try. They're using negative words all the time. That, I am not doing well in my career. This is not working out for me. Why do I face so many delays? So that negative, you fall in that trap of negativity. So start using positive words. This is not working maybe right now, but it will happen. The divine will help me. I have mentioned such switch words in my book also. The divine, the golden words, and words that emphasize on positivity. It will bring immense change in your life. So use positive words, and that's why affirmations work nowadays. We have like so many books on affirmations also.
Right.
So like we can say 3 affirmations right now. Why don't we try this?
So all viewers are ready, and you're going to just how many words you've mentioned a couple of affirmations along with your words. So you're going to tell all the affirmations that the people should follow. So there you go. All yours.
Let's do it one by one. One affirmation I'll say, then you
say, I will repeat.
Sure. Like you can say that I am doing my best.
I am doing my best.
Yes. And I will explore my true potential and I will reach the zenith of success.
I will experience my true potential and reach the zenith of success.
Success, yes. And only I am responsible for my happiness. Nobody else is.
I am only responsible for my happiness and nobody else's.
Yes.
So guys, did you see it was just 3 affirmations and how much we both are smiling? So if you practice the art of affirmation on your daily basis, how good life can be.
Exactly. So you can also become vibrant like us.
I'll know what to do on this weekend. So Dr. Neelam is sending a lot of thumbs ups to you.
Thank you.
And a lot of stars are coming in. Shop _ Jojo Chaho has said hi. And
hi.
Connection.
Hello, welcome.
four vibrant souls, two beautiful personalities. Thank you.
Thank you. Woman power.
So, what is love, hope, healing, and how are all correlated for you?
Love, hope, and healing. Okay, like when universe gives you a kick, what do? You heal yourself. You discover love in a new way. And that gives you hope that you can shine in life. So these are connected. Love, hope, and healing.
If you had to tell them in one line today that why should they go and purchase the book right away? Guys, purchase the book after our chitter chatter if
Yes.
you have. But just hang on here and know why you should purchase How to Rise and Shine When the Universe Gives You a Kick.
If you want to access the hidden wisdom, if you want to know more about life, you want to have a fresher perspective in life, you want to redeem your soul, you want to be led from confusion to clarity, from soul-led love to ego-led love, you want to learn about all of it, then please go and buy a copy now.
So now you know why you need to buy this book. So
Yes.
as chatter's over, you can go ahead, buy it online, and do DM her if you have any questions about the book, any practices that you are confused or you want, because it's in such an easy way that you're going to be like all for it. If you have anything, please do DM. And Charcoal, share the link to order. Definitely after this chitter chatter, I am going to put a swipe up link. Just swipe up and see and buy your copies, and do DM her whatever you want. Let her know how she liked it. Also, Manda, I have a question. You have actually in this millennial handbook put in a lot, and I'm sure there was a lot more that you wanted to share. How did you manage the edit part?
It was difficult because I had so much to put in this book. It was difficult, but I wanted to make it very concise and very crisp so that readers don't get bored, that the same thing is getting repeated again and again. So it was an attempt from my side to make it a handbook and not a very thick book, a very thin book, so that even if you are going to sleep, so you can read a chapter before sleeping and you're sorted. So editing part was little difficult, but somehow I managed it.
So this is actually where you've actually tried to develop a lifestyle where you're telling people, mindful living is very important, and it is not something that you do on a weekend or do it when you're practicing it as more as a lifestyle. So, if I tell you what mindful living is, what is it for you?
Exactly, you're very right on this part, that it is a daily practice. Like how you clean your room daily. You have to declutter it every day. You can't just clean your room and say that, okay, I'm not going to do it for 1 month. So you have to declutter your mind. You have to nourish your soul constantly to really have that push in life to keep going in life. So that is what it is. Mindfulness for me is to be very mindful, to be very aware of what I'm doing, how I am behaving with people, what people have to say about me, so I don't react too much. Maintaining a balanced approach in life and being very mindful of everything that I do. Mindfulness is very important, but when you become aware, you become very conscious. You don't want to hurt people. You don't want to say something that can offend the other person because you know how it feels. So then you start becoming more aware. You become more mindful of every activity that you do. And mindfulness is what I think every person should adopt in life.
So now that we've had a very serious, not so serious chitter chatter on our book, How to Rise and Shine When the Universe Gives You a Kick, now it's time for some fun chitter chatter where I'm going to ask you some questions and you have to give me a quick answer. So are you ready for the round?
I try.
Okay, so one word for meditation.
Peace.
A book that you loved, 5 books that you love reading when it came to spiritual healing.
Okay. I love this book called Only Love by Sri Daya Mata. That's a beautiful book. Another book which has really inspired me is Search for Truth by Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, our ex-president. Third book is an autobiography of a yogi. Fourth book has to be, I really like how The Archer. I really like this book, Archer, though it's not a very spiritual book, but it's more inspired by the Eastern wisdom. That's a beautiful book. And fifth, I have to say it's I think Inner Peace inner peace by Paramhans Yoganand, Sri Paramhans Yoganand.
What's your mantra?
My mantra of life is just one: do good karma, be very mindful of what you're doing, never be bad with anyone, just be a good person, be humble, stay grounded, and just spread positivity and love.
Your favorite verses from Bhagavad Gita?
My favorite verse. Okay, I'll tell you this. The last chapter has this verse which is very close to my heart. I'll just say it out. It's like Sarv Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tva Sarv Papebhyo Mokshyami Mashacha, which says that just surrender to me. Forget all your worries, forget everything. Lord Krishna is telling his devotees that just surrender to me, because if he wants something to happen in your life, it will happen. The only thing is you don't become a control freak. Just surrender to his wisdom. And because not even a leaf cannot flutter without his will. So surrender to his will, believe in his divine will, which we also call hukam in Gurbani. So that's my favorite verse from Gita. It's like 18.66, chapter 18.
When the universe gives you a kick, if this wasn't the title, what would it be?
What would it be? Let your inner light shine.
Wow, that's an amazing one. Can we have a book too with that title?
I don't know.
Your favorite food to eat while you're
While
you're reading? Your favorite food to eat?
I eat makhanas.
Your favorite drink to have while you're reading?
Coffee all the way.
Okay, you need to come and we need to have some coffee and makhanas together.
Definitely, I would love to meet you, and I've said this before to you as well.
I have to tell people here, when she sent me the book, she sent the Gajak, which I really enjoyed and everyone enjoyed. Really thanks that you sent along with the book. The book has spread a lot in my life. The Gajak was just an icing on it.
Thank you, and it just will help you shine like a star. You already are, but it will help you more.
Oh, shiny is more welcome.
Yeah.
What is Chitter Chatter with Shweta Roira for you?
It's inspiring. It's like enduring. It's full of fun, and I can really connect with you. I don't know what it is. I can really connect with you. I think we are like the same soul tribe.
I agree with that completely. From the time we've been speaking,
Yes.
Touch has had a magical connection, and
Yes.
have that connection. And maybe have with our viewers here, loving you while you were reciting the verses, while you were singing.
Thank you, everyone.
After our Chitter Chatter, in case you missed any part of the chit chat, it's going to be on the IGTV, so you can watch it. You can tell friends. Also, I'm going to put a link so you know exactly click and buy a copy. So don't tomorrow start with how to rise and shine when the Thank you, Mandakini, for your time. And
Thank you, Shweta. It was lovely connecting with you. You know, I'm really inspired by you. I really like your page. I really like how you take interviews, how you really try to really get into the core of the book, the essence. I really like it.
Thank you. These kind words are me for many more Chitter Chat.
Yes.
A ton. Oh, Poonam Jala, don't forget to take a selfie. We took a book selfie.
Yes.
But about selfie, I don't mind one selfie, just the
Sure.
For that moment. And there we are. Since that is what was asked, we were here. And I have to tell you, Poonam Jalan is also a thought a book. Brilliant. She had also a book. You must, which is about her life. And
I would definitely give it a read.
Once again, for the book I wrote, enjoyed. And also, guys, I have one more thing special. I have not mentioned that this is a book you can just at any time and read a particular. It could be universal, particular meditation, or giving answers. So it's not a book really need to start and finish it in the end. You can keep going back to it
Go
as
back to it.
and Durga Das BR official says I'm going to definitely read it.
Thank
Ashura,
you. And I really look forward to hear the reviews.
read it. And yes, guys, quickly the link.
Yes. Follow my page and let me know what you feel about it.
Totally DM her and tell her how it is.